trends that are going to be pop.
2024 fall.
Here are my fall 2024 fashion trends.
Is it too early to talk about?
Let's talk about
These are my fall.
This is exhausting. And I can only imagine how this feels for someone who doesn't even know what their own style is. So welcome to today's video, homies. As the title states, following trends is hurting your personal style. But first, let me just say that no hate to creators that actually talk about trends. I mean, I've done it myself. This video doesn't have to deal with that, but more so the fact that just everyone is following trends. But I just needed like a cute, quick, catchy little intro video, so that's why that's there. So why is this hurtful? So number one, it could be a lack of foundation. You don't know what the key elements of your own style is. When a current trend comes up, you could be easily swayed without knowing, oh, I actually really won't wear this, or this actually doesn't fit into my own wardrobe. Even though none of these trends actually speak to you on any kind of personal level, superficially, you're like, oh, okay, this is good because everyone else is wearing this, so I guess I got it too. And because TikTok says so. So number two, your inspiration is strictly from social media. I've definitely seen accounts where a new trend pops up, they immediately take on that whole persona, that whole aesthetic, and they're like, okay, this is who I truly am now. Like, this is me now. No, this is me in my completed form. Now I am really blah, blah, blah girl. I'm really that thing. Now, there is nothing wrong with following trends as information or as inspiration. I don't think a lot of people actually use trends like that. It's more so a copy and paste thing because that's the easier thing to do than to think about their own style. Plus, the people that you see on social media making this kind of content, they could just be really into trying trends all the time. They're okay and happy with changing their fashion every couple months, weeks. But that in itself is also bad because we all know overconsumption is not a good thing. But I'm just going to skip over that. But I'm just talking about the regular person who consumes this content. For the regular person who feels like they lack in personal style, using only one source of inspiration where literally everything is the same down to the hair isn't going to help you figure out what you personally like. You'll see whatever trendy piece on someone's profile, you just scroll on up, then you end up seeing it on a bunch of other different accounts, and then it signals to your brain, okay, well, yeah, I should be wearing this too. Or actually, yes, this does really look cute because everyone else is wearing it. Basically, you're always chasing after something else, something new, rather than looking back and looking at what you already have and being creative with it. Well, what is this? Like, I personally don't feel inspired when I see that kind of stuff because I'm just like, I've seen it once, I've seen it a million times. The thing that kind of gets me is like, I also feel like, I don't know, there's not really that much creativity, but at the same time, I see and I follow so many amazing people that have their own style. But then when you compare that to the platform that they have versus someone who's kind of just doing the same, it's like there is a giant difference between them, which is crazy. But I'm also not surprised because the algorithm favors sameness. The algorithm favors trends. I mean, that is why we have things like trending audios. Those things boost your video. That's why, oh, this thing is trending. Now everyone needs to do it as well. It's kind of like you get rewarded for being like everyone else and not being creative, which is like, I can see why we're in this position where it's kind of like everyone dresses the same and because that is what is getting pushed to our faces. And not a lot of people have their own style from the get, but you know what? In the sea of sameness, sometimes the algorithm gets it right. Actually, right now, I saw this one creator blow up on Instagram. I don't know if she blew up on TikTok, but her videos are freaking amazing. Love that she's POC. She is so creative. Her style is freaking impeccable. And I'm so happy that now she's getting her flowers because I haven't been following her for long, but just looking down at her videos, like she has been killing it for a while. I just wish the algorithm would push more people that were different rather than just the same all the time. I gotta find her. Saranda Manches, she's at 110 now. Fucking get it, girl. Her shit is so cool. Like, she's actually inspired me to look at reels again because I kind of was like, oh, I don't know. It's just like short form is like, eh. But like looking at her videos reminds me of like my earlier YouTube videos that I would do that were like so edit heavy, and it's been a great inspiration. But anyways, okay, that was a side note. Okay, I don't know if I'm getting like my point across. I don't know if this is like concise or anything because I just have like some notes and then I'm just trying to, I'm trying to do my best with like talking about stuff and but anyways, now I can say that I've never had a style rut, that I've always known what I've liked, that I've always known what my style was, but that would be lying because I did have a style rut. I did have a moment like that. That came about because I was what? Following trends. Yes. So let me take you back to the 2010s, back when the blogosphere was popping, okay? We had Style Scrapbook, Fashion Toast, Fashion Squad, Natalie Off Duty, Couture, Style Bubble, Which, side note, I looked up all of their social medias while I was like writing this thing, and oh my god, like what a freaking throwback. I hadn't really kept up with anyone except for Style Scrapbook or Andy Torres and Susie Bubble of Style Bubble. Wow, I was like, oh my god, I haven't seen these people in years. But anyways, there was a moment where all these people were all wearing neutrals. They were all wearing a lot of black, a lot of blue, like a dark blue, like a navy, and browns. I don't think Susie Bubble was in it, or maybe she was, but she was doing it in her own kind of like funky way. All these bloggers that really had their own style, I don't know, I just started seeing a lot of darker colors. I started seeing a lot of the same, because I was like, oh my god, I looked at these people and I'm like, they're older than me, and I was like, whoa, they look so cool and hip. Some of them are European, and it was very aspirational. I was like, oh my god, I want to be like that. Like I want to look like that. I want to feel like cool and everything. So I started implementing that into my wardrobe until like that was the only thing I was freaking wearing. This was during university. This must have been during sophomore year. All I was wearing was black. And here's the thing, I didn't have a lot of black in my wardrobe anyways. So it was essentially like I was wearing a uniform. I don't know how long this lasted. It could have been, I don't know, 3 months. Definitely not a year. It wasn't like super long, but there was just like a moment, and it was definitely during wintertime. I had these black pleather shorts from Forever 21 that I wore to death until they like, you know, kicked the bucket. I had these black tights, my Steve Madden like 5-inch platform boots that I would wear, and I would have like this sheer button up that I got from H&M, and I would wear a blazer, and I would switch that out with like a navy boat neck top. I specifically remember wearing that stuff all the time. And again, like I'm saying, because I didn't have a lot of this in my wardrobe, I was just wearing this over and over again, and my goodness, was I miserable. And I didn't realize how miserable I was until finally went back to like my own personal style. There was just a moment where I was just like, yeah, this is me. Yeah, because I want to be cool, hip European person. So let me wear this stuff because that's what I see everyone else is wearing. And I think the reason why I got so sucked in it is because blogging and blogs became like everything to me, right? That was my main source of inspiration. I was really only looking at blogs. If that was the only thing I was looking at and everything was the same, then that was just signaling to my brain like, okay, girl, well, you got to be doing that too. Beforehand, where I would get my inspiration from, I remember always going onto this one website that I found. They would put digital scans of Japanese magazines up. So I was always on that searching, and a lot of my inspiration came from just music videos or movies. I don't know, just take inspiration around me. When the blogosphere was at its peak, that was everything to me, dude. I was just like on that all the time whenever anyone would post, and there were so many bloggers, so I would check all of their stuff all the time, which really just parallels what I think TikTok is now. I guess like just short form content, I should say. It's right at our fingertips, so we're constantly just consuming this stuff, and everything is the same, and you're not looking at anything else, that you're just like, yeah, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I was not happy. When I went back, I don't know what made me change, but maybe I was just kind of like, girl, you don't have a lot of this stuff in your wardrobe anyways, so why are you continuing with this? And I don't think I wanted to buy anything additional to this, but then I transitioned back into what I was already wearing. I still looked at blogs and all that stuff, but I was looking at it as only inspiration, not as like law. Like, I need to follow this girl. I need to look like this girl. It was nothing like that. It was just like, oh, wow, this is cool. They're wearing this thing again. I think what kind of pushed me into like, okay, yeah, I'm just going to be wearing black all the time, kind of, or like neutrals and dark blues and all that stuff, was because at the time I would also be going clubbing a crap ton. And a lot of like my clubby clothes were more like, you know, they were in black. So it was like my, you know, those one pair of leather shorts that I would wear with my tights, with my little sheer top, or maybe like a, I don't know, little black crop top or something like that, that I would just wear all the time. So then I ended up just wearing that in my regular day-to-day stuff. And it was just like a constant. And I don't even have photos wearing this stuff, which I think also says a lot, where I was like, oh yeah, you know, I'm all cool, but I'm like, I'm not going to take a photo of it because I really wasn't being inspired at all. It was just like, okay, this is what I need to wear. I'm wearing it now. Like, boom, that was it. When I switched back to wearing colorful, quirky little clothes, that's when I was happy. That's when I was like, oh, I'm taking my little photos, I'm doing my little blog, like all of that stuff. So again, that was the only time that I really got sucked into wearing trends and doing all that stuff. I mean, I guess except for the time when I was in middle school and I was wearing all like black because, you know, I was a scene kid. But again, that was very different because that was attached to a subculture. I was part of this community. I was, you know, into the music. I was into a lifestyle, and this is like who I am and stuff, because you're invested in everything. You're not just wearing something. So yeah, so that brings me to micro trends, or I guess trends in general. It really just gives you a hollow sense of style, but you don't know why you're wearing it other than the fact that it's trendy. Not to say that whenever you wear something, it's like you're making a statement, but when you're wearing something, to me, is telling me something about yourself, because I personally think that clothes and style says a lot about you. But I truly feel like there are more people that just follow this without knowing what they actually like, versus people that are following this and being like, well, I managed to implement this into a style, into a way that fits me. I think those numbers, obviously I won't be able to get them, but just from what I see in a lot of comments and a lot of videos of my own and of other people's on various different platforms, it's just like, they're not matching. They're not matching. I feel like if you're that much into fashion and style, like it should really just say something about you, who you are. And if you are struggling with finding your own style, following trends can help in like discovering what you like. But if you're just like following it to a T without actually putting any thought into it, the way that I was when I was wearing a lot of like neutrals and dark colors, like I was just wearing it to wear it, but it wasn't really saying anything about me. It didn't really reflect who I was, but I was just like, well, I'm gonna wear this because I think it's cool, or I think it's trendy right now. Versus when I wear something that is actually me, I'm like, this is what I want to say to everyone. This is what I want to tell people when they see me. This is what I want people to know when they see me. I just think we need more of that. I hope that this has opened your eyes in any kind of way. I'm sorry it was kind of really all over. Have I been able to tell you why following trends is hurting your personal style? I hope so. Yeah, let me know what your thoughts are on this topic. And I'm trying so hard to do like sit down videos, but my brain is really like when I try to do anything. I talk to Karina a lot. We'll have like 5-hour conversations and we're talking about whatever stuff. And I'm like, girl, we need to just sit down and do a podcast. Like at this point, when I talk with someone, the words come out so much. I shouldn't even say like eloquently, but my process of like, I don't know, the way I can't even speak right now, the way that I'm able to process information and talk about it is so much easier than when I have to do it this way. Maybe because there isn't anyone else talking back to me. So I don't know, how the hell do I want to conclude this? Because I'm telling you, following trends is gonna hurt your personal style, but you're like, okay, well, what do I do about it? Just don't. What else can you implement? I mean, I feel like that in itself can be other videos of like obviously using different sources of inspiration. I think is a really big thing. Just being able to reflect on yourself and seeing like what it is that you actually like, what it is that actually makes you happy, what it is that actually makes you feel confident, cool, because that's so important when you're wearing clothes, because you know, you got to stay in them for the whole day. Oh, you okay, Abby? Do want to make other videos on like how to actually effectively use trends for your wardrobe and all that stuff, but I just hope that this has shed some light. I'm sorry that I don't have like steps for you to take from here. I think I'll just make that into other videos. I just hope you gain some insight as to why following trends is hurting your style. So anyways, thank you so much for spending some time with me. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I'm sorry if it was kind of like everywhere and nowhere at the same time, but I hope y'all understood what I was trying to say, or the vibe, or the feeling. Sometimes we just gotta stop thinking and just feel. And I hope y'all felt what I was feeling, what I was saying. Oh my God. So anywho, let me know your thoughts. What do you think? Do you think following trends doesn't hurt your style? Does it hurt your style? Has following trends helped you? I think following trends can help you with your style, but there has to be a time where you got to stop and think for yourself. But a lot of people just don't, and they just keep doing and doing and doing until nothing in my closet goes together. I don't have any clothes to wear. Yeah, you do. You just don't know what to do with what you got because you've just been in this mode of like copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste, and not really thinking for yourself. And that's what we got to be doing. That's really what we got to be doing. Alrighties, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Love you so much.